Hello everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in at ChasingCinema.com or our official YouTube channel, concluding CinemaCon 2018's coverage. I am going to be recapping Lionsgate Presentation, the final studio presentation of this year's CinemaCon. If you've missed any of those though, click that white eye above. You'll see all of the studio presentations recapped in videos, or if you want to see my actual tweets of everything that was going down, make sure to follow me on Twitter at Jacob Tiranno. You can scroll through my feed and see all the fun stuff. We had a ton of stuff going on. But yeah, now it is 7 a.m. on Friday morning. I'm finally getting around to recapping this. CinemaCon ended late last night after a party, after the awards. I had to fly to a movie theater where we had the Avengers Infinity War premiere. We filmed a review. We did a bunch of stuff. I came home. I've been filming and working, and now finally I'm on my 28th hour without sleep, and I'm going to give you this presentation even if it kills me. Unfortunately, Lionsgate's presentation was kind of the most underwhelming of everything. I just think that the stuff they offered and the pacing of the presentation just wasn't really there. Usually Lionsgate shows a film at the same time as the Lionsgate presentation. They're an opportunity for interviews of the award winners at CinemaCon, so a lot of people leave. So normally they show a film for the exhibitors, and mostly the press go and get interviews, which we also did. So in the next day or two, keep an eye out because we interviewed Anna Kendrick, Paul Feig, Jodie Foster, and some other really great names. So make sure to keep an eye out for that on this YouTube channel. So subscribe or sign up to ChasingCinema.com so you're always getting updates. Also, I mentioned Avengers Infinity War. You should check out our review for that. But let's hop right into it. So what's weird is that Lionsgate started off with a bang. Rel Howery, the actor from Get Out who played the TSA agent, and also starring in the upcoming film Uncle Drew, was the host of the presentation, and he killed it. I mean, he came out and demanded the attention of everybody. He had everyone laughing, and mind you, CinemaCon is like any convention, it seems like it's grueling, right? I mean, you start the day at 7 a.m., you're going to bed you're leaving at 11 p.m., but people are coming home, they're writing, they're making videos like this, they're getting barely any sleep. So finally on the fourth day, everyone is gone, right? Everyone is sleepy and tired, yet this guy was able to really channel some energy in the room. However, when they started showing some footage, and as the presentation's pacing went on, it kind of all left the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace. But let me get into it. So he came out cracking jokes, making everyone laugh, having a great time. Again, this is Rel Howery. And then he showed some footage for the upcoming film Uncle Drew. Now, if you aren't familiar, Uncle Drew, I believe, was a Mountain Dew commercial or some sort of viral video in which Kyle Irving, a basketball player, did makeup to look like an old man, called himself Uncle Drew, went on different street courts and played with amateurs and just blew them away because he looks like this old man. Now, how that got turned into a movie, I don't know. However, it is. And the movie actually stars Howery playing a coach who is getting together all these old basketball stars. I mean, it has Shaquille O'Neal, Kyle Irving, and they get all these old guys back together. It reminded me of the Muppets, the Jason Segel Muppets movie where Jason Segel and Kermit had to go and get the old gang back together to perform, and that's what they're doing. They're getting the gang back together to play a game of basketball. But I have to be honest, while I'm a fan of Howery, Tiffany Haddish is in the film as well, I just didn't know what they're trying to do. I mean, I watched this film, the footage that they showed at CinemaCon at this presentation, and I was like, sure, I get it. Like, I understand where Uncle Drew comes from. I guess it's funny that they're, really great, immensely talented basketball players who look old but are playing great. I'm just not sure what the movie's trying to do. I mean, they're really kind of just hyping off of this viral video, but nonetheless, I think I'm interested because Haddish is great, because Howery is hilarious. I mean, I'll check it out, and well, plus it's my job and to review films like that. But just not a movie that I think is going to blow people away. But we moved immediately after that comedy into Blind Spotting, which looks like it's going to be a heavy and immensely prolific film. Raphael Cassel and David Diggs took the stage to introduce the trailer of this film. Similar to a movie that I talked about in the 20th Century Fox presentation. If you haven't seen that, again, click that white eye. You'll see all the studio presentations. This is a film about culture. It's about race. It's about people's relationship with the police and how people feel police treat certain minorities and people in general. Cassell, the movie takes place in the Bay Area, and he said this film is a love letter to that area. They're giving their speech, which is usually scripted and it's on teleprompters, but then Diggs and Cassell pulled out these papers and said, we wanted to perform something for you. Whether or not it was staged, I don't know, but they said they just had written it. And it was an incredible performance. I mean, this was probably the highlight of this presentation. They gave this really beautiful, poetic, possible rap about what this movie means. And they started naming a bunch of individuals who were killed by police that were controversial. They were naming cities and locations that seems to be forgotten. And they informed the audience that this film is meant to tell people to remember these names, to remember these cities. And it was just incredibly powerful. I mean, you could feel the air out of the room leave in a good way, just because everyone was so moved and so touched and taken out of this whole, movie trailer moment and kind of in this really heartfelt performance. So I'm looking forward to that film. It looks very familiar to the other one at 20th Century Fox, but obviously it's a hot topic and looks like they're going to be addressing some serious stuff. Now, comedy to that, back to comedy. With Kate McKinnon and Mila Kunis taking the stage to talk about The Spy Who Dumped Me. And I love Kate McKinnon. I think she's great. I feel like she is hilarious on SNL. Unfortunately, I don't think she's been able to get justice in her film performances. She's played some characters that are, of course, funny, but not giving her the full ability, and I hope this movie does that. They were cracking up. I mean, they were having a ball on stage by themselves, let alone everyone else in the room. Mila Kunis was talking about all the things that happened in the film, and Kate McKinnon was trying to pantomime all of them, and she was like, it's a romance, and Kate McKinnon's like kissing the air, and it was just really funny, and you could just tell they have a great chemistry. They showed some never before seen footage of the film, and like them, it was outrageous, charming, but overall it looks like it's going to be very funny. Like I said, I haven't seen a film that does Mila Kunis' comedy justice, I don't think. Well, Kate McKinnon justice. Mila Kunis, I feel, has done really well in the comedy genre lately, but I'm hoping this movie is really good for the both of them. Next, we got a first look at Kin. And Kin actually debuted tonight in front of the Avengers film. It had a mediocre response. It looks like a really intriguing sci-fi thriller in which a young kid finds this weapon, which could be from another dimension, another world, maybe another planet, that really can do some devastating things. And it's kind of about him realizing that he has this power to protect his family and to do these things, but the consequences are incredibly real and dangerous. And maybe this is a movie that is going to address another hot topic in the country about gun violence and things like that. But I think on the surface level, from what we saw, it looks like it's going to be this intriguing sci-fi thriller. And James Franco's in it. Next, we saw footage from an upcoming horror film called Hellfest. Now, there's a really big thing going on right now in which there are haunted house festivals, right? Like here in Vegas, we have this thing called Fright Dome, which is really awesome. It's at Circus. They took over what's known as the Adventure Dome, which is like an indoor amusement park, and make a bunch of pop up a bunch of haunted houses, and it's a lot of fun. Universal Studios does the Hollywood Horror Nights, in which they get a bunch of people, actors dressed up. They scare you throughout the park. You're going to different haunted houses, and this film is in a situation like that called Hellfest. Only a real killer lurks at this festival, and people can't tell what's real or not. Honestly, it looked creepy, but it looked like a lot of fun, and we all know that horror movies, even when they're bad, are sometimes quite good and fun, so I'm really looking forward to that one as well. Then we got some behind the footage of Uncle Drew and the makeup process, and how Kyle Irving and Shaquille O'Neal were, done up in the makeup chair. Showed some more footage, and Yeah. Then Anna Kendrick, Paul Feig, and Blake Lively took the stage to talk about A Simple Favor. However, before they did that, Blake Lively made it a point to give a demonstration on how to make the perfect margarita. After she was done, she gave the drink to Paul Feig. He took a sip and fell down dead. Obviously, it was a big joke, but kind of alluding to what A Simple Favor is going to be about. He made sure to call it a fun thriller before passing out and quote-unquote, possibly dying, and it was great. 2 stagehands had to come pick him up and take him off stage. Check out our interview with both of them, Anna Kendrick and Paul Feig. They're both great. Now, I didn't catch the comedy aspects of this movie in the footage that was shown, besides Anna Kendrick playing this mommy vlogger who's kind of awkward. But it looks like it's going to be a very trippy thriller. It seems that it's going to be following Anna Kendrick, who befriends this woman who seems very mysterious and has this kind of extravagant lifestyle, and then all of a sudden disappears, and she leaves these clues behind for Anna Kendrick. While the elements of comedy weren't in my face, it looks like it's going to be a great time and it's going to be a really captivating thriller. I love Anna Kendrick, and I think Paul Feig does a really, really good job with his films, and I'm excited to see him kind of take on a new genre. We also saw footage for a film called The Hunter Killer with Gerard Butler and Gary Oldman. It looks like an explosion-heavy action film with submarine ships, and I can't say that I was really intrigued, but I'm sure it will make money. Not the biggest fan of Gerard Butler, and the film just kind of looked like a big shoot 'em up, blow 'em up, excuse, just in a different setting. And lastly, to close out the presentation, which the pacing was weird and it just felt like it ended abruptly, but Jamie Foxx and Taron Egerton took the stage to talk about the upcoming film Robin Hood. Jamie Foxx made sure to assure the audience that he's not going to be wearing tights. That got a big laugh. And then they showed footage to this film. And unfortunately, it reminded me of King Arthur, the recent King Arthur, which was promoted at last year's CinemaCon. It's like, it's set in that time frame, but it feels very modern. It feels like very new. It doesn't feel like it's really set in that time frame. It looks like it has plenty of slow-mo action and a lot of bow and arrow shooting. We talked to Taron too, and he seemed really excited about the project, but I have to say that it didn't look too interesting. It's funny because this tweet was actually picked up by a few outlets and described it as less negative, and I was like, oh, I thought my point was kind of made clear. I mean, I did say it looks like a crazy action-packed film, and it does. It looks like there's plenty of action sequences. Some look intriguing, but it looks like, it's not going to really kind of connect. It's too goofy and outrageous to really feel like a Robin Hood story, and it's Robin Hoodish, so it can't really connect to be this really fun, wacky action film. So, and like that, Lionsgate presentation ended, and with that, CinemaCon ended. So again, if you have any questions about what I went over, write in the comment sections below or tweet me. Also check out the Twitter feed because I wrote everything that happened at CinemaCon these past couple days, so that'd be fun to check out. Look at this white eye. You'll find our Infinity War review, as well as all of our recaps for the presentations, the studio presentations, a bunch of information there. And thanks, guys, for keeping up with CinemaCon. It's been a great year. We'll be back next year. But hey, I'm doing stuff every day, every week on this channel and on ChasingCinema.com, so make sure to follow along if you enjoyed this. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jacob Tiranno. That's what happens when you don't get sleep for 28 hours. And please continue chasing cinema.